Well, as Black History Month wraps up, we wanted to shine a very special spotlight on an extraordinary member of our team for nearly 40 years. He has played an important role not only here at TV5, but in our community. Former and current TV5 employees, as well as members of the community, share how TV5's chief photographer, Bud Jones, has impacted us all.
TV5 photographer and Hall of Fame athlete Bud Jones faced the mechanical pitcher to hit a few. We set the machine to throw some 90-mile-an-hour rockets at him, and Bud, at the bottom of the ninth, with 2 outs, hit a home run.
And big deal that photographer Bud Jones is carrying 3 basketballs. He juggles up to 50 pounds of camera equipment every day.
Black History Month and TV5 taking a little time out to salute one of its own. And you talk about history, Bud Jones.
I grew up in the Upper Peninsula where the only African Americans I knew were Air Force kids. Bud Jones and Derek Smith were the first cameramen I ever worked with that were a different color than me. I knew that they were pioneers and that came with issues, but they never showed it. Bud Jones represented a culture that I needed to understand to tell Saginaw stories, and I'm a better person because of it.
Bud Jones is TV5. I love going on stories with Mr. Bud, as I affectionately call him, because he knows this community so well, and he's always able to add a little nugget that I probably never would have thought of on my own.
You know, I think what separates Bud from so many others is his ability to get to know people and to genuinely care about his community.
He'd go anywhere in the community and not recognize Bud Jones.
Bud is a rock star at TV5, and you know, not only with us here, when I go out in the community, everyone knows Bud. They're like, "Hi, Clet, how are you?" But how is Bud doing?
I can't think of anybody that I respect more that I've worked with over the last 20 years than Bud Jones. Black History Month here, it's such an honor to be able to speak on behalf of Bud and all he's done for our community.
I say BJ has a huge impact on the mid-Michigan community, you know, being here for a really long time. He's got experience, and I'm just really appreciative to learn from someone who has been embedded in the Saginaw community for as long as he has.
Bud Jones has been at TV5 for 40+ years.
Now, there's a saying in the newsroom. You want to get something done, send BJ.
Bud is something everybody in the station looks up to, literally and figuratively.
And you never had to tell Bud how to shoot, where to shoot, what kind of shots.
Just like I told you, Art, there's nobody in the pool. There was not a swimming meet, no pool, no meet. No one's here. Okay? Okay.
Get it right, get it right.
And of course, he's an integral part of what we produce for our newscasts. Many of the things that you've seen on TV over the past many years, whether it's just a story about a store opening or if it's a huge breaking news story, many of those Bud has gone out on and been there and brought you that news behind the lens.
And it seems like anything that of importance in this community, you look around and see that infectious smile of Bud Jones.
His willingness to do what it takes to get the job done is second to none.
When I'm working with him, I know that I don't have to worry about anything because he'll do his job and make sure I have everything I need to do mine. He'll go out of his way to make sure our story is better, and he even allows me to have a little fun and just enjoy the experience.
I think everybody in mid-Michigan knows Bud Jones, but what they don't know is that he has an equipment locker with autographed pictures of nearly every anchor at TV5. It's a tiny museum showcasing the people and, quite frankly, the improvement in diversity TV5 has shown since Bud started at TV5 in 1980. Each message on those glossies is a testament of how much that man is loved, not only by so many co-workers, but by the community where he lives and works.
He is a great leader. He is a mentor. He is someone that you can count on.
You know, Bud Jones is TV5. Bud keeps the equipment going, keeps the cars going, keeps everybody going. There's no room for dogging it as long as Bud Jones is around.
I think Bud, he means a lot to everybody here, not just to make the station work, but just for the people involved. He's such a nice guy. He'll help you out any way he can, and he's just a great guy to know.
He serves as our chief photographer now and is excellent in his job and setting an example for new folks coming in.
BJ, the consummate professional, always there, always on time, unless there was technical difficulties.
He makes everyone feel comfortable, including our guests, and he's always got our back.
You always know that Bud's got your back.
Well, for decades, BJ has been the backbone of TV5. He has some really great humor and truly has all of our backs when they're up against the wall.
You can count on Bud Jones, and I'm just thankful that he's a big part of this WNEM TV5 family that makes things happen, gets things done, and has a enthusiasm that is infectious to us all.
So we respect you, Bud, and congratulations for all you've done.
We love you, Bud.